want? A choice. A chance.
There's your chance. Take it.
Grateful.
The day will come when you won't be.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Back again with another review for The Walking Dead. This is Season 7, Episode 8, the mid-season finale, entitled Heart Still Beating. Alright, guys. In the early morning, Maggie sits alone by Glenn's grave. She assumes her post at the Hilltop's front gate with Eduardo. Gregory approaches and warns her not to let her popularity with the Hilltop residents go to her head. He taunts her by rubbing an apple continuously on his jacket when Eduardo blasts him for this, reminding him that she is pregnant. Gregory reluctantly tosses the apple up to Maggie. She takes a bite as she continues to watch duty. In Alexandria, Negan enjoys a shave in Rick's bathroom. He begins to instruct Carl about shaving techniques. At the Savior's compound, Daryl escapes his cell. Negan cooks pasta in Rick's kitchen. Out on the porch, Tara hands Olivia a canister of powder lemonade and offers to take her place inside. Olivia declines, saying she promised Rick to watch Judith. She readies herself and enters the house. Negan sits at the head of the table and tells Carl to place a setting for Rick. Olivia pours lemonade for Negan. At the Walkerfield pond, Rick and Aaron find a boat riddled with bullet holes. They decide to row the boat to the canoe in the middle of the pond. Negan, Carl, and Olivia eat in silence. Negan says he's tired of waiting for Rick. A savior rummages through the goods that Spencer collected and commends his hard work. A female savior named Laura takes a shine to Spencer and offers to show him their compound if he plays his card right. She catches Eugene watching them and calls him out. Carol reads at the Creeptastic house right outside the kingdom. She hears a noise outside and sees Morgan leaving a sack of produce on her porch. She invites Morgan inside and reveals that Ezekiel has also been bringing her produce. Richard stops by to speak with them. Rick and Aaron paddle the sinking boat. They're surrounded by walkers. As they reach the canoe, a walker pulls Aaron underwater. Aaron escapes and swims to the houseboat. Rick paddles the canoe to the houseboat and docks it. Daryl sneaks through the hallways at the sanctuary. He hears saviors approaching and ducks into Dwight's apartment. Inside, he devours a jar of peanut butter, changes into Dwight's clothes, and listens to the saviors in the hall. He notices Dwight's carving figurines on the table. Rick and Aaron rummage through supplies on the houseboat. Aaron finds a note with a drawing of a middle finger that says, "Congrats for winning, but you still lose." Daryl hears the saviors leave the hallway. He seizes the moment and flees the apartment, but not before smashing Dwight's carved figurines. Rick and Aaron get the houseboat to shore and load the cargo truck with supplies. Rick mentions how Michonne feels about their deal with the saviors, that isn't living. Aaron says he knows they're doing this to stay alive. Either your heart is beating or it isn't, he says. They finish loading the truck and prepare to leave. Someone in mismatched boots watches them from across the pond. Michonne holds the female savior she's abducted at gunpoint and forces her to drive towards the sanctuary. She asks Isabel why she was alone in the woods, but she doesn't answer. In their trailer, Sasha tells Maggie that a resident's daughter thinks Maggie should run for president of the Hilltop. Maggie asks after Jesus. She wants him to pick up school supplies for the children. Sasha reveals that he left on a supply run that morning. Maggie leaves to get milk. Enid calls Sasha out for lying to Maggie about Jesus and guesses that she's planning to kill Negan. Sasha urges Enid to keep her mission a secret from Maggie. Sasha knows Maggie would want to help. Richard reveals his fears to Carol and Morgan. He doesn't think the kingdom can coexist with the saviors. He believes they would inevitably destroy the kingdom. Richard asks Carol and Morgan to help him convince Ezekiel to strike first. In the church, Gabriel urges Rosita to refrain from attacking Negan by herself. He recommends she wait for the right moment so the community can take him down together. Back at the sanctuary, Daryl flees down a hallway and grabs a pipe. Carol refuses to help Richard and insists he being left alone. Morgan hesitates to disrupt the peace with the saviors. Richard dejectedly leaves. Carol tells Morgan to leave and forbids him from telling anyone where she is. At home, Spencer dresses up in nice clothes, high, as he rehearses in front of a mirror. He grabs a bottle of liquor and heads outside. Richard enters a camper trailer hidden in the woods. He hurls an empty milk bottle and cries. Spencer stops by Rosita's house and reveals that he is planning to get close to Negan so he can strike against him at some point in the future. Rosita agrees to join him for dinner afterwards. Daryl escapes the sanctuary and runs into Fat Joey. Fat Joey surrenders and pleads for his life, but Daryl beats him to death with the pipe. Jesus finds Daryl in the midst of bashing Fat Joey's head. Daryl grabs Joey's gun, which was Rick's Colt Python, and hops on a motorcycle. Daryl and Jesus leave the sanctuary. Spencer walks into Rick's house and introduces himself to Negan. Isabel stops the car and then the women can see hundreds of saviors gathered in the distance. Isabel tells Michonne an attack against Negan would be pointless. We're all Negan, she says, and tells Michonne to shoot her and get rid of the car. Michonne does. Rick and Aaron arrive at the Alexandria gate and are surprised and greeted by saviors who inspect their goods that Rick and Aaron brought. Negan shares a drink with Spencer on the porch and pines for a pool table. Spencer tells him where to find one. The saviors unload Rick and Aaron's cargo truck and find the "Congrats for winning, but you still lose" sign. Enraged at the disrespect, one of the saviors beats Aaron, believing the note was intended for them. Rick tries to intervene, but is stopped by Gary and Laura. As Negan and Spencer play pool in the middle of the street, residents gather around to watch. Spencer tells Negan that Rick's ego is out of control and proposes that Negan appoint Spencer the new leader of Alexandria. Gary and David finish beating Aaron. Rick helps him up. "My heart's still beating, right?" he asks Rick. Negan considers Spencer's betrayal. He points out that Rick is swallowing his hatred to gather goods for Negan, and he won't kill anyone else. "That takes guts," he says. Negan wonders aloud why Spencer doesn't just kill Rick himself instead of sneaking around. Negan answers his own question. "It's because you got no guts," as he plunges a knife into Spencer's abdomen, disemboweling him. "There they are. They were inside you the whole time," Negan jokes as Spencer's guts spill out on the asphalt, killing him. Incensed by this, Rosita whips out her gun and shoots at Negan. However, the bullet hits Lucille instead. And enraged, Negan shouts, "Shit, what the shit? Shit, you just tried to kill me. You shot Lucille." Arat wrestles Rosita down to the ground and holds her at knife point. Negan picks up the bullet casing and realizes it's homemade. He demands to know who made the bullet. Rosita lies and claims she made it herself as she presses her cheek against Arat's knife, cutting her own face. Negan calls her bluff. He orders Arat to kill someone. She turns around and shoots Olivia dead as Rosita screams, "It was me!" Rick shows up at the scene and tells Negan to leave. Negan agrees to go as soon as he learns who made the bullet. Tara falsely confesses to making the bullet. As the saviors turn their guns on her, Eugene steps up and admits it was him. Negan and his crew leave with Eugene in tow. Upon seeing that Spencer is reanimating, Rick angrily stabs him in the head. That night, Michonne informs Rick that there are more saviors than they thought, and that they should still fight for Judith, for Carl, for Alexandria and the Hilltop. For all of us. I know that now, Rick agrees. Maggie stands guard at the Hilltop gate. She sees something in the distance and smiles. Rick, Michonne, Carl, Rosita, and Tara enter the Hilltop and reunite with Maggie, Sasha, and Enid. Rick admits that Maggie was right all along. They have to get ready to fight. Daryl and Jesus come out to greet them. Daryl gives Rick his Colt Python that he retrieved from Fat Joey. Together they stride towards the mansion. Gabriel keeps a night watch at the Alexandria gate. Someone watches him through binoculars. A dark figure in mismatched boots lurks in the darkness, then heads towards Alexandria. It was the same person that was watching Aaron and Rick earlier in the episode. Alright guys, that was the review for Heart Still Beating, Season 7, Episode 8, the mid-season finale. Kind of good to see Rick kind of finally admitting that he's going to have to fight Negan. You know, there's no going to be getting around it, so he's trying to figure out get his plans, figure out how he's going to do that, and kind of a little mini cliffhanger they left us on, like who is watching, Gabriel, and who's following Rick and Aaron and going towards Alexandria. So that's gonna be interesting to see who that's gonna end up turning out to be. So, but unfortunately, we're gonna have a 2-month break before we find all this out. Walking Dead will not return until February 12th, 2017. So will do it for my reviews for the first half of season 7. As always, I appreciate y'all checking this out, and like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.
Welcome to Woodburn.
Pushing my pants yet?